Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Dipesh Kumar Verma and I am working with Tech Savvy Engineer from last couple of years. As you all know about today's scenario that more and more people move towards SolidWorks from other software. So basically they have need to import or export data from all software to SolidWorks.
Let me provide first a brief introduction to about my organization. We are authorized reseller of SolidWorks product in North India. We are also service industry with our engineering design and allied services. As a channel partner of SolidWorks, we are training and support provider their product in North India. Okay, next is our vision. Our vision is to impact innovative and leading technology solutions, training and development through effective partnership. Our mission our mission is to provide proper tools and technologies to our clients so that they gain competency to meet varied industry challenges at the economic cost. Okay, above us, who we are, what we offer, and our presence. Who we are. We are we are authorized reseller of SolidWorks product suite in North India. We are engaged in providing industry-leading training and support all SolidWorks products. Also, we have experience of more than 15 years in engineering design and analyzed by our dedicated team. What we offer complete product suite of SolidWorks, which includes product to meet design requirement of mechanical industry, electrical industry, and electronic industry as well. We also provide design engineering service, training and support provided in North India, and our presence. We are present in North India with headquarters in Noida. We also have office in Gurgaon and Jaipur locations. Okay. Why yes? We have 15 plus year experience, 500 plus customer, on that 1000 plus user which having SolidWorks.
So today's webinar based on best practices which we can use to try the import their data and also have look at some issue occur while import the data. So let's get started. This is our today's agenda. So next 45 to 50 minutes I will cover all this area in which we can see what is interoperability, why should we repair the data, what are the methods to repair the data, how import diagnosis work, and finally we can see some case studies.
So first of all, we can see what is interoperability. Suppose there is a customer and vendor who have their own CAD software for work. Let us assume customer has software A and vendor having software B. If vendor prepare a product and give to the customer so they can work together, basically they can exchange their data from software B to software A. This process of exchanging of data between different CAD products is known as interoperability. Next, different file format. If we broadly differentiate the file format, we get two types. Neutral format, for example, STAB and IGS, native CAD format, Creo, CATIA, NX, etc. So during this process, what happens when we try to import data from different software into our SolidWorks products? SolidWorks must interpret or reverse engineer support features. Suppose a person try to create a fillet in software A other than SolidWorks. So when he try to import file inside SolidWorks, so basically the code level language which has been created to fillet in software A, it is not necessary that same code is used SolidWorks too. Basically during this process, SolidWorks try to understand the code. It try to interpret that code which has been used in other software to create fillet. So it's try to reverse engineer process or try to understand if that the code had to use to create the same fillet in SolidWorks, and if had successful, then import process is proper. So therefore this process is not always for reliable. So there is some damage of data. So that's why we should repair the data. If we keep on working with problematic data inside SolidWorks, in fact any software, there can be problem like mask property, section property, and all other properties which should be there inside those data that cannot be calculated properly. So there is problem like intersecting edges or faces in the imported data and exported data too. There can be some overlapping faces. There can also be gap between the surface. If we clearly look at this particular scenario, this is not at all desirable. If we use this model in our further work, many errors related to manufacturing, there can be many errors which can cause subsequent issue. So we always try to repair the data before continue work on them. Okay. So next is method to repair data. If we look at some capability inside SolidWorks, we can either choose to do with automatically. It's depend on SolidWorks how it fix up those data, and we can also choose do manual repair. So automatic process or automatic capability, which is there inside SolidWorks, is also known as import diagnostic. As you can see in this snapshot, how it works, we look at next slide. And above manual repair process, if we look in the command manager at the data migration toolbar, we can see many commands like heal edges, night surface, move faces, etc. is used to do manual repair as per requirement. Okay, next. We also have some options which we provided in system options, which we can see to optimize the data while we working on them. This option basically used to increase the performance. So while we're discussing about these options quickly, let me go to SolidWorks and you get option here. Click on import. Okay. The very first option is 3D interconnect. Enable 3D interconnect. Many of you might aware of 2017 we have given an option of 3D interconnect. So what 3D interconnect does? It opened the data, basically native data from different software into SolidWorks. Suppose we have created some features in native format, and when we open it inside SolidWorks, it's open all those features as it is. SolidWorks basically doesn't interpret and convert it on code level language, which we discussed in previous slide. Let us show you an example. First of all, I check this option, click OK, and open one imported data. For example, base frame. So what happened? It's open without link break. It takes few seconds. Okay, you can see it's open without link break. So after that, you have to dissolve features if you want to break the link. Yes, break the link. Or you can directly open without without the link. Just click to disable this option or OK. Again, I open that file and open. So you can see in features manager design tree that the file opened without link. Okay, so let's move next options. Move towards next option. Next option is automatic run import diagnostic. So when this option is enabled and you try to open import data inside SolidWorks, SolidWorks automatically asks you automatic run import diagnosis or not, which I saw in last example. Next option is perform full entity check and repair error. Similarly, when this option is enabled, then SolidWorks automatically run the entities check in background and it try to repair those errors. Basically, both options use as per work situation, because both options run whenever you try to import the data into SolidWorks, so it's take time to open. When SolidWorks do lot of work in background, which affect its performance, so basically it's increased opening time. Okay, so if we move on the next section, it's solid and surface. Under it, we have noticed that there is an option called try forming solid. Try forming solid. Under that, there is a B-rep mapping. First of all, we should try to understand what is B-rep mapping. B-rep stands for boundary representation. It's a method of representing shape using limits. It is basically based on topological, that is, physical object can be divided into set of primitives. Primitives are basically element of shape. All the set of primitives can be combined into certain order to form a particular shape. Every CAD data has some boundary representation. So if this option is enabled, B-rep mapping, and we try to open import data, so all boundary representation which are there in that data, it is basically map all that data inside SolidWorks. So in this, it will try to form solid or it will try to form surface. Okay. Next, one night surface. If this option is enabled, so when we are trying to open import data, so there is might be possibility of surface data. Then SolidWorks knight the data and try to form a solid or surface. Or you can knight with manually operation when this option is unable or not enabled. Okay. Free curve points entity. Under that we have two options. First one is import as sketch and import as 3D curve. As we all know, every CAD data has 2D and 3D sketch data. So if we want to import those free curve from the original data into SolidWorks, so both the option has need to enable. Next is import multiple body as part. Import multiple body as part. Suppose there is a multiple body data file of other CAD software. After that, we export the data and then we try to open imported data into SolidWorks. So what basically SolidWorks do is to open import data as it is, same as native file of that software. If this option is disabled, so what basically SolidWorks doing, it convert the imported multiple body data file into assembly and its components. Okay. Next is IGS. Shows IGS level. This is basically related to the level of IGS data. Step map configuration data. Under map configuration data, for the step map configuration data, it's import all configuration data plus geometric data from the step file. If you have this option is disabled, the only geometric data has been imported. Okay. Next is let's move towards the uh, presentation. So next is what import diagnosis does. You can see in the snapshot there is some error shown. So you run import diagnosis. So what import diagnosis does, it basically try to find out and repair all faulty surfaces and try to knight all the repair surface and into closed body and then make closed body into solid. So during all this time, I have been explained about the need of converting bodies, imported data into solid body, because when we have those solid body, we can have all the necessary information like section property, mass property, volume, density, whatever we needed. Okay. So, okay. Next is import diagnostics. Also find the problem by check entity. Let me open this option in SolidWorks. Many of you have used this option bar previously. So if if you open any file and if you go to tool or you may click on evaluate, the check option is find here. Okay, you can click on check. Okay, this option is open. This window is open. We have opened this window and there is a faulty probability body inside SolidWorks, and once you select stringent solid surface check, SolidWorks try to find out all the probabilistic faces, probability entities, and then it display the result in the result list. Okay, I just click on check and you get the three faulty surfaces. Then we can choose to repair and we can find out where the problem affect. And it is also check for non-analytical surface, which we can replace with equivalent analytical surface. So what is analytical and non-analytical surface, I will explain in further slides. Okay, this way you can find the problem. Let me go again to my presentation. Okay, next is import diagnosis, also repair by recreating the trim boundaries. As many of you might be knowing that there is a functionality called surface trim inside SolidWorks. If there is a problem in one particular surface, SolidWorks tries to find out all the adjacent part and sections, then try to trim those boundaries to fix those overlapping surface. It's also try to trim away the defective portion of faces, and then there is an algorithm called gap repair algorithm. It's try to use that algorithm to fix the model. Okay. Okay. Next is in previous slide I mentioned that non-analytical surface convert into analytical surface, and then night repair faces and form a solid body. As you look at two pictures, I make two bodies, one with a non-analytical curve like spline, and right side make with analytical curve like arc and line. Okay, as you seen in the pictures that left side image is more continuous within shape as compared to right side. Even there is a problem of concentric mate with non-analytical surface. So import diagnostic convert into analytical surface automatically. Okay, when we diagnose the problem. So some common issues based on performance. The very first common issue is that user facing problem while opening the imported body inside SolidWorks, and it takes long time to open. So how we troubleshoot? First of all, we identify the issue. That issue persists because of import or export of file. So we open the file in same CAD application where it was import from, and then we can play around with multiple import option which I explained, which is explained in previous slide, and we can also export the data into parasolid form and then import into SolidWorks. So there is a question might be coming in your mind that why have mentioned parasolid. So as many of you know might know that parasolid is a kernel in which SolidWorks is based. So it's easier on the part of SolidWorks read and interpret those data which we convert into parasolid. So the best practice is try to import file into parasolid. The second the second common issue which the user face, they are trying to uh, import the data and then find out that the import diagnosis tab is grey out, or there no import diagnosis option at all. If they right click on features manager design tree, so in that case you should first of all try to find out that there any additional data you are created. If yes, then it obvious that imported diagnosis tab is grey out, because imported diagnosis only work on imported data only. Okay, so let's quickly move to some case studies. I just open some case studies. Okay, as I already enabled that option, import diagnosis, that's why it's asking me that do you wish to run import diagnosis on this part, or yes or no. So I should yes or no, it depends on you. I just go for manual options. If you want to select surface imported body and right click, and you got the same option here. There is multiple option you have. There is two advanced options like attempt to heal all the faces, means only for faces, or all the gap. It depends on you. I just go for attempt to all, heal all, means faces and gap, whatever is get it. Okay, like this way you can use import diagnosis. Okay, so let me quickly move to next case study, which I already seen in previous example, which I already take. Okay, it takes 2 seconds. Okay, again I just go for import diagnosis, attempt to heal all. Okay, now I find out that there is a one face which already even right now is persist, means import diagnosis is failed to repair this face. So what I do, I go for manual options. I just delete by data migration toolbar, delete face, or simply delete it. Okay, so what I do next, I just make these faces as offset with zero distance, with 0 mm distance. And okay, okay, now what I do, I just hide my whole body and extend the surface of this faces. Okay, 5 mm is enough for me. Just a minute. Okay, now I'm selecting the other body faces, other surface faces, and same with this body. So what do I do next? I just go for trim command, manual trim operation, selecting all three bodies, keep selection these three body, and okay, okay. I just go for fillet. I know the value, so I just put it directly 2.8 here and here is 2.8. It's 3 mm and okay. So what I do next? I just again show my body and hide my surface body and delete the faulty faces related to faulty faces, and again show my body which I created. Night surface, select this body, merge entity and create a solid. Okay, like this way you can repair with your manual options, or there is a others option. You have many options to do this work. For example, I just suppress all these options and simply click on loft surface and make a loft body. Okay, and simply make it. So there is a lot of option to do manual repair. Let's quickly move to my presentation. Okay, so in this webinar, I will explain understanding of interoperability, how to diagnostic problem related to import body, method to resolve those problem, manual import diagnosis, and some troubleshoots. So before finishing this webinar, I like to give you a brief introduction to SolidWorks inspection. Okay. So as you all know about quality department that they have task of creations of document such as drawing with balloon callout, report for use during inspections, or additional delivery requirement with parts. So manual creations of inspection document will often take hours using Microsoft Excel and handwritten annotations. So SolidWorks inspection software automates the manual and tedious process by leveraging existing 2D legacy data such as SolidWorks file, PDF, and tips, or captured data using digital measuring instruments. So today's in this SolidWorks inspection, I will show you its applications. So this is our agenda. Next 10 minutes, I will cover all this area in which we can see, uh, first of all, introduce to SolidWorks inspection, benefits of SolidWorks inspection, how to use SolidWorks inspections, so what is measurement data, publishing to means exporting, file types, and there is some case studies. Okay. SolidWorks inspection is a first article inspection and in progress inspection software, which streamline is automates the creations of balloon, inspection drawing, inspection report. The software consists of standalone application as well as SolidWorks add-in. Okay. Next is benefit of SolidWorks inspection. SolidWorks inspection is a simple and 2D application that can reduce the time needed to create inspection document by up to 90% and help to virtually eliminate input error that improving quality and reducing time to market. Working with different file type in order to properly inspect to manufacturing product, it's important to have all the right documentations and reference file on hand. In SolidWorks inspection, multiple file types are supported in the add-in and standalone software. Both 2D and 3D files supported in both, uh, including SolidWorks, standard SolidWorks parts, assembly, and drawing, as well as other file type PDF and drawing from non-SolidWorks software, including 3D KDF files. This makes inspection document incredibly flexible. Or in addition, by including both 2D and 3D file in a single project, inspector can ensure to measure and validate the correct assets of the model. Okay. So next we get how to use a SolidWorks inspection. As mentioned in the introduction, SolidWorks inspection software include the add-in inside the SolidWorks, which is shown here, as well as standalone software is shown here. In some industries, inspection report are also generated by designer. So how they use of SolidWorks add-in, uh, we can see in next 5 minutes. And some industry where quality department is different from the design department. So for them, they have used SolidWorks inspection standalone software. They no need to install CAD software also. Okay. Let me quickly move to my SolidWorks and see some case studies. Okay. Beginning with the add-in, what is the most important assets of working in SolidWorks inspection software is gathering all of the dimensions, geometry tolerance callout, and node that determine of the part manufacturing properly. The list of annotations added to export inspection document is called bill of characteristics. In this SolidWorks inspection add-in, I can automatically balloon all the characteristics needed and combine them into a single bill of characteristics. If I create, okay, if I create new inspection project shown in the command manager here and select a default template, okay. Now I get a property bar, means you fill the property by using your customized property of the part level or drawing level, or you can input your data. It depends on you. I just go here. It's a part name and then is a part number. So I select this, or I just blank others. Okay. I input all of the parameters for which annotations together. When I click to green check, the software automatically gather all of them together. Balloons are added in the graphic area on all pages of drawing. Like I just see the next page. You can see here. Okay. And characteristic table is build the correspondence to each of the balloon. You can see here. This characteristic table is what is used to generate the first article inspection report used by inspector. If needed, I can click any of them and any of the characteristic to edit them by property bar. When all look good, I can export number of file type, which is which in this case I can export in Excel file. You can see, just go for export to Excel, select the template and OK. And I just replacing my file. Okay. Okay. So within few seconds it's created. When the file done exporting, I can see that all the characteristics I gather include in this document. Okay. And the inspector has an area to mark the result for each measurement and verification of the manufacturing part. Creating this document just in few steps, making it quick and easy to generate report without tedious detail of each an item of drawing. So let me quickly move again to my SolidWorks and let me open other file. The automation software doesn't only apply to 2D drawing. Here I have a 3D part model with PMI showing in the 3D space. Okay, I can go ahead and create a new inspection report project. One second. Right now again I selecting the default and now I click on the green check directly. The PMI is automatically balloon get in the 3D space for each annotations. And if I export, okay, and if I export to 3D PDF, okay, I already done. Just a minute. Okay, you can see here. You can see all the balloons showing in the viewing area. Viewing area which correspond to each characteristic of the inspection report. Using 3D PDF help provide to clarity to dimensions and other callout by highlighting. Associate geometry with each item. This helps to inspector properly validate the manufacturing part by being able to properly measure and assess the product. Okay. So quickly move to the standalone application. Okay, this is my standalone application. Now I'm working in standalone application. To work with PDF, In standalone software, I will create a new project by clicking File, New Project, choosing first template right now, and OK. Then open the PDF file. If I quickly want to automatically add all the characteristic balloon for the drawing, uh, before I just quickly create it, I just fit the drawing. Okay, I can use smart extraction command here in the toolbar on the top. When I select, and I can drag the cursor over the area I want to extract dimensions, the characteristic gathered from the extraction process or added to characteristic table. Okay, it's completed. You can see here in the bottom of the interface. I bring of the property for any of these. Simply click on any of them, just like click here, and then adding the property here in the panel of the left. I click undo right now, remove this characteristic and balloon to show you some additional features in the software. The standalone SolidWorks inspection software exhibit more flexible to specific particular annotations by the type. If I distinguish the dimensions, geometric tolerance, I can choose from the OCR toolbar available in the document toolbar. OCR stands for optical characteristic recognition, which visually recognize the characteristics of the annotations and convert them into text and character in the bill of characteristics. Okay, I just select dimension. Before selecting dimension, I just zoom the area which I want to manually do the operations. Again, go for document, selecting dimensions. Okay. I box select around this dimension. A balloon is added to it, and the information is captured in the image. And text is converted into characteristic table in the bottom. Notice that this is specific as a dimension, making easy to generate the dimensions item of any item of another by category. Okay, if I using geometric tolerance, and again I selecting a box select around this call out here, the information populate in the characteristic table just like dimension. If I needed make adjustment to the symbol, like I need to some adjustment 0.02 to the symbol text and font size and more, it is easily done. Similar to add-in, SolidWorks inspection can generate number of output file. Uh, Once you finish adding balloon and characteristic to document, in this section of the toolbar, okay, here you can see select any of the document type, or you can access to this toolbar from the publish section. Go for file and publish in the drop down menu. I go ahead export another Excel file to generate the first article, and again I select export directly with the name stand alone, or just click OK. And you can see that only the character you can see I capture in document are included in this report. By beginning able to choose which annotations to include in the document as well as annotations type. So, well, back to my standalone applications. You can create highly customized inspection document that need your criteria exactly as you need it definedly. Okay, let me quickly move to my uh, presentation. Okay, I will explain. So next is enter measurement data. First of all, what is measurement data? It's our input data which we compare with the part in specification and find out the defect with color code information. So let me open quickly any SOLIDWORKS inspection file. Again, go for standalone software, and you can see here there is a column of measurement inputs. Okay, just I go for back. Okay, undo, and again I selecting the extractions multiples for fit command extractions multi characters, uh, extracting the dimension area. Within few seconds, again it's ready. Okay, here you can see here is a column where you can input data and compare with model. For example, I write pass, then notice it's converted into green color. Or I write fail, it's converted into red. When I write marginal, it shows yellow. Or you can write value to find out that the value which you can input in the range or not. For example, just I go for upper someone, see here, I just write 2 to 7. Okay, it's green. If I write 2 to 9 and enter, it's red. It's just out of the range, whatever you want. Like this way, you can check that your value or your inputs are in range or not. Okay, so let me quickly to my presentation. Next is publishing to. Okay, it's a exporting file types. We can export it to 2D PDF, export to Excel, export to SolidWorks inspection project, export to eDrawing, and export to 3D PDF. Okay, so in this brief introduction to SolidWorks inspection, we can see SolidWorks inspection, capability of SolidWorks inspection, SolidWorks add-in and standalone, how we can compare data with part specification, exporting file type, and benefits of inspection. Okay, that's all from my side. Okay, if you have any query regarding anything or need a recording of this session, please contact me this number or with my mail ID.